Hello everyone, my name is Juliana Montelon and I am the lead researcher for our team.
Hello everyone, my name is Roxana and I am Alejandra, and we both interviewed the co-founder of the mutual aid group No Us Without You, Otono Lasco.
My name is Brianna and I am the video and audio editor.
And I'm Jared, the narrator.
Othono Lasco and his team noticed an increase in food insecurity during the pandemic and wanted to help their community.
1 in 3 Los Angeles County households experience food insecurity, disruptions in eating because of lack of money or resources. During April to December 2020, the first half of 2021, the ratio fell to more than 1 in 10 Los Angeles County households.
So I'll just start with myself. My name is Otono Lasco. I'm one of the co-founders of No Us Without You, Los Angeles. I'm a fifth generation Angelino, born and bred in Boyle Heights. And if anyone knows anything about Boyle Heights, it's the epicenter of Latin culture in America.
When the pandemic hit, many people were struggling to provide food for their families.
How No Us Without You started was that we were consulting for bars and restaurants, and we had just opened up 2 places, and the week before the shutdown in Los Angeles, so that was March 15th was the shutdown. We had just soft opened a bar restaurant in Southell, Little Osaka in Los Angeles, and so we had to shut it down, and we had just hired 10 back of house staff for that location. And the organization really started because my business partner and I noticed that there was a lot of GoFundMes and other crowdfunding going on in social media for everyone you see, the front of the house people. So, waiters, hosts, managers, bartenders. But nobody was talking about the back of the house, the dishwashers, the prep cooks, the porters, the bussers, the runners. What was going to happen to them? And, for myself and so many people I know, we had to figure out how to get unemployment for the first time ever. And, that's my money. That's your money. We pay into that system every paycheck, and it's called unemployment insurance for a reason, so that if you become unemployed, you have a little bit of safety net. Unfortunately, being undocumented, the families that we knew weren't going to be eligible for any of that assistance.
Creating solidarity and providing food to their community is very important.
We started with 10 families. March 19th, we went to a local restaurant supply store, and we bought as much food as we could. That first week of the shutdown here in Los Angeles, we could only buy like 2 sacks of rice and 2 sacks of beans. They were limiting everything because this was a restaurant supply store, but normal people that didn't have restaurants or food trucks were going there to buy food because they had a large inventory. So we bought about $400 of food with our own money, and then we came back to our office in Bull Heights, and we kind of just spread the food out and try to see what it would look like to feed a family.
No Us Without You focused on making sure everyone under their care had everything they needed while maximizing the amount of families they feed.
So over the course of the first week, we kind of fine-tuned how much food we gave everyone by checking in with them and making sure that they, if they ran out of something, maybe they needed more beans or more tortillas. So once we got dialed it in the first week, we figured out that we could feed a family of 4 for $33 for 1 week. And that was just buying retail. Now we buy, wholesale, and we're getting, over 100,000 pounds of food delivered, and we're, portioning out. And yeah, it's been a great, it's our 3rd year now.
The organization's name explains itself.
Former partner actually came up with the name, and it made sense. It was one of those things that he just proposed to us, and we're like, that makes sense, because there is no us without the back of the house and documented families.
No Us Without You has had great success since starting this organization.
I know we are successful because we're not wealthy by any means, but we're very rich in friends. So everyone that we know and love has helped us in our industry. Every chef, restaurateur, former coworker, just peer that have helped us at some point in the past 3 years. We owe people a lot. I mean, I'm indebted to so many people, not only in Los Angeles that we knew, but strangers, people that have become really good friends and supporters of our nonprofit because they get it, they understood. So I think that there's two reasons we've been successful besides the fact that people have kind of rallied to our cause, and that is one is our volunteers. You know, we have over 100 volunteers in our organization, everything from people helping us unload trucks to distribute food, manual, physical, hard labor. The other big reason we've had success from the beginning was that our really good friend Mel Castro, who's our volunteer media director, she's a famous photographer, reached out to us to document, our food distributions. And I think that once people were able to see like their donation going directly to buying food and us buying the food, preparing, the food relief kits and giving it to families, it was almost like a picture was worth 1,000 words, right? And it really helped us on social media. It helped us with actual media when like the LA Times wanted to do a story on us, but they didn't have a photographer that could go out into the wild because of the lockdown, and Mel stepped up and had all that taken care of. That's why we've been successful, because our friends, our volunteers, and really just strangers that have become, supporters of North Without You.
They started with a couple families, and now they feed over 1,600 families.
Once we kind of put our money where our mouth was and started to, buy food for the 10 families, and then the first week it became 30 because everyone has a neighbor or cuñado, tia, so it spread. And by the end of the first month, 3 weeks later, we had 120 families that we were taking care of every week. So we feed the same families every week. We don't just feed them one time and then, say, hey, good luck. So it just kept building and building because there was a need. So we kept getting more and more families inquiring. Anytime we had any type of press, especially if it was in Spanish, especially if it was, Univision or Sino Español, we would get hundreds and hundreds of emails or phone calls requesting assistance. We have the original 10 families that we helped. These families used to work 70 to 80 hours a week, 2-3 jobs just to survive. Whatever money was left over, they sent home to Mexico or Central America, South America. They still don't have, there's no families that we know that have like that full-time income that they had. The biggest problem though was that Los Angeles was shut down for so long that they had no income. So at least not in hospitality, restaurants. So they either had to find a different way to make money. You're starting from the bottom.
The families in this organization are also willing to help other families. And
what we told a lot of families, well, all the families, I should say, is that, listen, I get it. Because they were telling my business partner, hey, I have like 2 or 3 shifts. Give my food to someone else that doesn't have 2 shifts. And we had to explain to them that they're not taking food from it. This food is allocated to them. The majority of the families were in debt. They were in arrears on rent. They owed back rent. They owed utilities, water, power, internet. So we said, hey, listen, take this $80 to $120 worth of food that we're giving every week, instead of just, saying, hey, I'm good, and being proud and taking kind of like a leave of absence from the program. Many of the families were like, okay, that makes sense. Now I can, if it's $400, it's $500 a month that you can like pay back. It's going to take time, right? It took time to get in debt. It takes time to get out of debt. So when they tell us, hey, listen, I'm good, then of course, we're not going to force them to accept our help. Unfortunately, we also have been helping for the majority of our existence. Day laborers, street food vendors, mariachis, our communities, our underserved communities, and there's a lot of people that are hungry. And we were naive at first. We didn't realize how bad food insecurity was in America, let alone our own community. So, we have so many street vendors that need help. So they will be going forward, definitely replacing the back of the house families that come off our initial program. Out to 4 people per family. Unfortunately, we give everyone the same. Some people might have two people in their family, so they're going to share with their neighbors.
No Us Without You supplies families with the necessities. They serve high quality produce and they also receive high quality meals from local restaurants and they distribute those meals as well to the families.
So what's inside of our food relief kits? It varies with the season, but it's contain everything from milk and eggs and chorizo. Um, you have potatoes, you have onions, you have carrots, you have whatever greens are in season. So you have zucchini, broccoli, cauliflower, things like that, cabbage. Um, we have corn tortillas, these organic, beautiful corn tortillas. You know, we have different restaurants making like lasagnas and casseroles, and pasta sauce, um, almost really anything that makes sense for a family. We're not giving them things that are foreign to them. No one's getting like you know tofu or expired food or dented cans with no labels. We give everyone food that we would eat ourselves. We buy all the food. We're kind of transitioning our program now to be able to accept more produce. It's expensive to have storage space for that type of thing, and it's a lot of running around getting pickups and deliveries. So, we're a small operation, and we try our best to maximize the amount of food we can give families.
No Us Without You LA helps all of the undocumented restaurant workers.
And it's not just I want to make a point. It's not just Latinos and Latinas we're serving. We we'll help anyone that's undocumented. That's really important. I think people sometimes think that we're only helping people that you know are Latin. That's not the case. We have families from the Middle East, and we have families from North Africa. We have families from Korea. Right now, there is a lot of families that are getting ready to come to the United States from Ukraine. So we don't speak Ukrainian, but we do have friends that do. So they're going to help us translate and get things in Ukrainian for them, so we can help them out.
They've always had a plan for their organization.
Longevity is always a thing that you have to think ahead. You have to have a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan. You can't just live day to day because it's too much stress. So we've been really, really fortunate to have very smart people around us that offer their insight, and we've been able to adapt and pivot and move, improve our systems. We knew that, for example, this past holiday season, the winter months are the hardest months for restaurants because and bars, because you have everyone coming off the holidays, so they're paying off the Christmas bill. Everyone's trying to get in shape. You have New Year's resolutions. A lot of people don't drink in January, trying to go to the gym, so donations drop. Everyone's getting ready for taxes, so it's really hard. So we knew that from the previous year. So what we did was we were honest. We believe that the only way you get in trouble is if you don't ask for help. So we asked everyone for help, explaining what I just said, that winter time is really hard to get donations. So we need to prepare for winter by fundraising in November, December, and we did that. And we did that so well that we were able to basically continue through the end of March. Unfortunately, we have a lot of things in the pipeline for summertime, but in the immediate, we had to adjust our program from weekly to bi-weekly distributions to save money, so that we could still provide food security, but add a alternate distribution cycle. It was hard, but it takes being honest.
They are also environmentally sustainable with an addition of a garden to supply for families.
Also have an organic garden in the arts district that we grow some food. We help distribute that food, but all of the food that we give the families, like I said, we buy it from major purveyors that provide restaurants food with all over the country. So this is there's no moldy potatoes or milk that's going to go bad in 2 days. We don't do that. It's important for us to uphold the family's dignity and give them things that are of quality nutritional value. It's a small garden. It's about 2,500 square feet. But when we fundraise to build this space, because all of this money It cost about $250,000 to build this garden, and because we started from nothing, it was just a piece of dirt. Good friends who design restaurants designed it for us, and our contractor Jerry Rojas and Steve Segrist, the designer, and Greg Belier, the main designer. They all did this for pro bono, and we basically paid for like cost of labor and material they needed. For example, when we bought our citrus trees, we have pomegranate, Meyer lemon, Mexican lime, blood orange, tangerine, kumquat, loquat, and nectarine trees. We bought mature, like 15-year-old big trees. So, we've gotten hundreds and hundreds of pounds of citrus. So we add citrus to our kits. We also have different donors. We've done like a backyard citrus, like donations. Like my parents have a bunch of different citrus trees in their backyard. We have almost 100-year-old Oro Blanco grapefruit tree that my mom and dad and their neighbors. It's huge. It's like 40 feet tall. They harvest it a few times a year, and then they bring all the the grapefruits to us, and we distribute them to the families. So we've done that with avocados. Our friends own a avocado ranch up in Fillmore, and they will bring us avocado and distribute to the families. So the garden itself, like I said, it can't produce a lot, but it helps in so many ways. We grow like specialty chiles. Like right now, we just planted our spring and summer crops, and we have like 25 types of tomatoes, like 19 types of chiles. We have tons of herbs growing, like 6 different types of corn. So, it's only, the garden's been kind of going since really November. August of last year is when like the trees went in, and then everything kind of got put in November. So that was a lot of like leafy vegetables and lettuces and radishes and greens, things like that, cauliflower, broccoli. So we had like one harvest, and now we'll have our second harvest coming soon. So the garden will allow us to have fundraising events, like we're having our first one coming soon with Kids of Immigrants, a really amazing clothing brand that's been very big sponsors of us, as well as Buchanan's. They've helped us a lot. So the money that we raise, for example, just from that one party, one event, will allow us to buy 10 pallets. That's $1,000 a pallet. 50 boxes at $20 a box. Will allow us to feed, what's that, 500 families, and take care of all the bills for the water, the power, all the fertilizer, and all the organic stuff that the garden uses for that's like 6 months. So it's great to kind of go down the path of being self-sufficient, self-sustaining.
They also have a contactless delivery system for those that need it.
They're delivery drivers for people that, abuelitas and abuelitos that maybe don't drive anymore, or they're at risk, right, health-wise for COVID. So they kind of, stay in their bubble, stay isolated. So it's a contactless delivery system. So we have delivery drivers that go take it to the doorstep, leave it there. They know it's coming. So, yeah.
They also try to spread the word to tell others that it doesn't take much to help someone out.
There's so many things we can do for our immediate neighborhoods, the block we live on. We still do things like that. That's how we started this, is that, where our offices are at, where our homes are at, we take care of not just like the front of our office, but the whole building, the whole around the corner. We clean, we clean the sidewalks and make sure that the abuelitas and abuelitos, when they walk, there's not trash. And for that, there's so many things we can do to help our community. We all spend time online, too much time. So maybe that means you find a food bank or a church or something in your neighborhood when you go pick up food for those people in your neighborhood, because maybe they can't go, or maybe they can't carry a big heavy box. There's so many excuses that we make about why we can't help everyone, okay, right? But you can help someone, and that someone should probably start, in your neighborhood.
Know Us Without You, LA uses 100% of their donations towards food for families.
I just would love if, anyone has $1 to spare. I'll take $1 from everybody. and use that to buy food. 100% of donations that we receive to buy food is spent on food. So we're very fortunate, like I said, to have been in hospitality before. So all of our clients, from Tecate to different liquor brands, Tecate pays for our refrigerated truck, pays for the lease, pays for the insurance, the fuel. They donate a lot of money. So all of our bills, the office I'm in, the internet, the diesel, the small salaries that we have, insurance, every little thing that is a cost, an overhead cost, is directly paid for by private donors and public donors. That's what they want their donation to go for, and they're explicit in that. So I would ask everyone that sees this, if you don't follow us on Instagram, we're at No Us Without You. You can follow us there and see everything that we're up to. You can send us a DM, ask us questions. Our website is nouswithoutyou.la, as in Los Angeles. And you can donate there via Venmo, via bank card, credit card, check, whatever. And if everyone gave us $1, we do really good. So, but for $33, you can feed a family of 4 for 1 week. Well, thank you. If you have any follow-up questions or anything you forgot or think of, just send me an email and I'll answer it.